got underway today for Caysen Allison. He's charged with murder in the stabbing of Joe Ramirez at Belton High School back in May of 2022.
News 10's Isabella Quintanilla was in the courtroom all day today. She has more from this first day of the trial.
The 146th District Court was packed today with families, friends, witnesses, and others, all who have been waiting nearly 3 years to learn the fate of now 21-year-old Caysen Allison. We first heard from the state prosecutors who are charging Caysen Allison with murder, saying he was intentionally cutting and stabbing Joe Ramirez, to which Allison pleaded not guilty. His defense attorneys then gave their opening statement, implying it was self-defense. Defense attorney Zachary Boyd told the jury, quote, Caysen was in the fight for his life, where he was jumped by 5 friends. We heard from 5 state witnesses today, including a 911 record custodian, the Belton ISD Director of Safety and Security, 2 teachers who saw the aftermath of the stabbing, and the school nurse. At the start of the trial, they played 5 911 calls from 2 staff members, 2 students, and a parent. In one of those calls, a girl identified Caysen, claiming she saw him running through the parking lot with a bloody nose. They then played security footage from several cameras showing Joe and 3 others walking into a bathroom, Caysen and another boy walking in shortly after. 5 boys, including Joe, then ran out of the bathroom and split up, with Caysen once again running out shortly after. We also saw footage of Joe running down the main hallway, bleeding onto the floor and then collapsing. Blood immediately began to pool as teachers and staff quickly surrounded him. Many of Joe's family and friends were in tears as they watched this all play out. One witness, the first to get to Joe, said, quote, his breathing was rapid and shallow. It appeared to me as if he had a punctured lung. Another witness, the school nurse, said they gasped when they cut open Joe's shirt, finding a gaping wound across his left chest. She also shared that a student that had been in the bathroom was brought to the nurse's office and was on the phone with his mom saying, quote, Caysen stabbed Joe. Reporting in Belton, Isabella Quintanilla, KWTX, News 10.
How come the Latino and Hispanic community is not talking about this? I seen them talk about Carmelo Anthony. I seen them do lies for Carmelo Anthony. But Jose Ramirez, he's not getting any love? What's going on? This story is Caysen, this white kid. I mean, he's not even a kid. They both 18 when this happened. He goes into a bathroom with a knife and unalive Jose Ramirez. And mind you, this was a planned fist fight. This was planned days before this event even took place. Incident happened. Prior to this incident, this unaliving, they had a group Snapchat where they were trying to find a location for the fight. Initially, Caysen wanted to fight Jose at a park near the woods, and Jose disagreed to that location. So that's what happened. The fight took place at a bathroom in their high school. Mind you, like I said, Jose walked into the bathroom first, and then Allison followed. Caysen followed. And just like those twins, Caysen unalived Jose in front of his stepbrother, Joshua. I don't blame the media for this story not getting enough traction. I blame the Latino and Hispanic community because I seen stories on this app that took off because of black people spreading awareness. Now, if this was a black kid that did this to a Hispanic kid, the Hispanics, the Latinos will be outraged.
Yesterday marked the 4th day of 21-year-old Caysen Allison's murder trial. And the details of this case will definitely shock you. Caysen Allison is on trial for the murder of Joe Ramirez, 18 at the time of his death, back in 2022. A shocking fact about this murder is that it took place inside of a high school bathroom after a fistfight ensued. And what's even more insane is that a bit of it was caught on video. Now, according to this article, the video depicts the victim, Joe Ramirez, throwing a punch at the kid Caysen, to which Caysen Allison responds with swinging a knife and allegedly cornering Ramirez. Now, according to Joe Ramirez's stepbrother who was there at the altercation, this kid just ran out the bathroom like nothing happened. Ramirez would wheel himself out of the bathroom into the school hallway, where he would unfortunately lose his life. Allison's defense team claims that he was acting in self-defense, that he was not only fighting Joe Ramirez, but also a group of his friends as well. Allison was then let out on a $175,000 bond and has been on house arrest ever since. I'd never heard of this situation until now. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Was this self-defense, or did this kid just commit a heinous act?
This is my first time hearing about this, and no way this is self-defense. Nah, this is not self-defense. This is not self-defense. One of the friends had testified, Joe's friend had testified, that he knew it was going to be a fight between Joe and Caden. But the fight was not supposed to happen until after school. They both agreed to have a fight. So there cannot be a self-defense factor in this at all. And then there is a video of the fight. They showed it in court a couple days ago. This, if there was an agreement between two parties, hey, listen, we're gonna fight after school, blah blah blah. Don't say nothing to me. But I guess he felt like he needed the knife. We're gonna say allegedly because Joe's friend testified saying that they were in the bathroom. It was basically three of them and him and Caden. So he possibly thought that he was gonna get jumped. But again, they agreed to a one-on-one fight outside of school, and it should have happened, and nobody should have to have put their child in the ground.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this video. So here's it. I want to update the case because I'm very curious about this case. So where we left off, we got up to Wednesday. So here's is the Wednesday about the trial. And I see a lot more people talking about this in the last couple of days. And it's bringing like a lot of attention, a lot of awareness, and how people are comparing it to the Carmelo and Austin situation. The jury heard from two friends of Jose Joe Ramirez on the third day of the state's presentation of evidence against 21-year-old Caysen Allison, who is accused of stabbing Ramirez during a fight in Belton High School bathroom almost 3 years ago. The 18-year-old high school student died on May 3, 2022, at a local hospital for allegedly being stabbed by Caysen and collapsing in a hallway. Caysen's defense team is presenting a case of self-defense, but we all know this is not a case of self-defense because he stabbed him multiple times, not just once. Before testimony began Wednesday morning, and outside of a jury's presence, the judge had another matter to address. Judge Wade Faulkner announced to the nearly full courtroom that the defense had given him 3 screenshots of social media postings made by Amanda Rios, Jose's mother. "Today is a warning," Faulkner said. "You'll be excluded from the trial if you post about the case, your knowledge of the case, or your possible testimony. Another person would normally be able to post or comment on social media, but Amanda was among the 14 people who were sworn in as witnesses by Faulkner on Monday morning when the trial began and was not supposed to talk about the case at all. Because Amanda is the mother of Jose, the homicide victim, the judge on Monday excluded her from the rule that almost always is invoked by the defense, and she has been in the courtroom for the trial when the rule is in effect. Sworn witnesses are not allowed to watch court proceedings because such a scenario could influence their later testimony. Right after Amanda was admonished, the defense team called for a woman sitting next to her, who was allegedly had been posting on social media, to be sworn in as a possible witness. Unlike Amanda, the woman was not allowed to stay, and she left the courtroom in tears. The screenshots were admitted into the record as Court Exhibit 1. Belton police said that Caysen, 18 years old at the time, admitted to stabbing, and a folding knife was located during search of his home. He was indicted by a Bell County grand jury on June 8, 2022 on a first-degree felony unaliving charge. He has been out of jail since July of 2022 after posting a reduced bond of $175,000. A jury of 7 men, 6 women, including 1 alternate jury, was impaneled after a 2-day jury selection process on April 2nd through the 3rd. The trial was expected to proceed into next week, and more than 30 people have been subpoenaed to testify, court records show. 11 people had testified over the course of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Two records, custodians, a detective, a teacher, and the school nurse, 2 witnesses who were high school students, and 4 of Jose's friends who were in the bathroom with him on May 3, 2022. The five boys arrived first, according to school district surveillance video. A short time later, Caysen and his friends, who can be seen with a slight limp because of a boot cast, walked into the bathroom seemingly unconcerned. On Tuesday, Jose's friends Angel Marlio and Tito Shamil testified about the altercation that occurred shortly afterward. Shamil recorded part of the fight on his phone, and the short clip already has been shown in court numerous times. On Wednesday, a third friend, Josh Grimes, finished his testimony and began on Tuesday. Jose's stepbrother Joshua Rios Jr. then testified that a fistfight had been planned through a Snapchat group message, but that Caysen and Jose had not yet agreed on the details of time and place. Caysen wanted to go to West Temple Park in the woods to fight Jose. Joshua said he sent a screenshot showing where Jose didn't want to fight there. I don't think it was actually going to happen. The next plan was for the two to fight after school that day. The incident occurred in the morning, just after the end of first period during the class change. As soon as Caysen walked in, they started arguing, and Jose said, "If we're going to fight, that they should do it here and now," Joshua said. Jose then punched Caysen, who can be seen on Shamel's video rearing backward from the blow, and then swinging at Jose at the same time. Joshua slugged Caysen's friend, who had walked in with him, knocking him to the ground. So your brother Joshua is fighting too? The shaky video does not show the stabbing as it occurred. I heard my brother scream and saw him run out, Joshua said. I was trying to process if he just stabbed my brother. Caysen looked at me and blotted out the bathroom. I chased after him and bolted out the bathroom. During the attorney's questioning of the boys, both sides tried to clarify the circumstances for the jury. Caysen tried to stop the fight. He didn't want to fight, said the defense attorney Zachary Boyd as he was questioning Grimes earlier in the morning. He first went to urinate in the stall, and then he was confronted by Jose. Jose tried to lock the bathroom door and then slugged Caysen in the face. When Jose moved to fight, none of you stepped in, did you? No, sir, Grimes said. If it were you with a friend in a boot in a bathroom surrounded by boys who fight for fun, would you wait for a second punch? Boyd asked. Would you gamble with your life or in the fight? I'm not sure, Grimes said. Grimes answered. You'll defend yourself, wouldn't you? Boyd asked. Yes, sir, Grimes said. The state's prosecutor briefly questioned Grimes again. Would you stab somebody during a fistfight? Said Assistant District Attorney Connor Lay. No, I would not, Grimes said. Okay. All right, you guys. That's messed up. They're grilling that boy like that. 7 photos revealed in court today show there exactly Jose Ramirez was stabbed on May 3rd, 2022. 2 more witnesses were sworn in Thursday morning as a specter in the gallery was removed from court after yelling at Caysen Allison's attorney. The friend who was in the bathroom with Allison during the fight, Chris Biddle, and the medical examiner who performed the autopsy on Jose testified today. First cross-examination resumed on Ramirez's brother, Joshua. The defense asked Joshua about getting to school the morning of May 3rd. Joshua told the court that he was brought to school by a friend. Security footage from the parking lot of Belton High on that day was shown to the jury, where they saw Joshua arriving to school in the driver's seat of a car. Joshua and Jose told him, Joshua said Jose told him that he had a fight with Caysen in the parking lot that morning. However, the footage doesn't show that a fight happened. It shows Caysen walking past Joshua's car and then walking to the entrance of the school. During questioning, there was a misunderstanding between the defense and a witness after a mumbled response from the witness was translated incorrectly by the defense. This led to an outburst in the gallery where a man near the back of the courtroom yelled, trying to correct the attorney. Immediately, the man stood up and said, "I'll step out. This man's ignorant," talking about Caysen's attorney. The defense tried to submit evidence of a photo posted on Snapchat showing a mugshot of Jose after he had been arrested for assault. The judge ruled the evidence not relevant. Since the photo couldn't be revealed, the defense asked Jose if he knew Jose had been arrested for assault and why. Joshua testified that he knew Jose had been arrested and that Jose got into a fight when he was 18 with someone who was 17. When asked to recall those moments in the bathroom, the defense asked Joshua, "You can't say Caysen had no reason to be afraid." To which Joshua replied, "I do not believe he was afraid. He could have left the bathroom when he saw us if he was afraid. Duh." Joshua doubled down on his testimony from yesterday, saying they weren't in the bathroom to fight. It was a pit stop they made some days between class. The defense came back. "You didn't try to stop Jose when the fight started." Joshua replied, "No, sir." After lunch, the state brought Dr. Grant Hendon from the Dallas County Forensic Sciences Office, where photos of Jose's rooms were revealed. The photos showed 4 stab wounds. The images had all of Jose's family in tears and covering their eyes. Oh my goodness. The first wound described was the one that eventually killed Jose. The knife caused damage to Jose's left lung, heart, and injured to his coronary arteries. Oh my gosh. Which is responsible for the blood flow. Oh my God, he had to bleed out. The second wound was also in the area of the lungs. The third wound show where exactly 2 wounds connected, meaning the tip of the knife entered in one place and exited in a different place. This wound was on Joshua's buttocks. On Jose's buttocks. So he stabbed him in the buttocks? Dang, he was trying to kill this man. The 4th stab was on the back of Jose's left forearm. However, the order in which these wounds were obtained cannot be confirmed through this report. The defense questioned that it also doesn't determine who was the aggressor. Dr. Hendon agreed. Biddle was sworn before the end of the day on Thursday. The court will be closed for Good Friday. The trial will resume on Monday, where cross-examination on Biddle will continue. Texts between Caysen and Biddle are expected to be revealed after being admitted into evidence after the jury were dismissed on Thursday. This is sad, you guys. This Caysen, my opinion, was trying to hurt him bad. I don't think Caysen was trying to kill him, but man, he did the most on Jose. I would say Caysen, self-defense, if you stabbed him once in the leg or in the arm and then you ran, okay. But you kept stabbing, and stabbing. You get what you deserve.
All right, so let's talk about this case. A lot of people have mentioned it. It did happen in 2022, but the trial is taking place right now. So I just want to clarify, I do think that this kid should do time because he brought a knife to a this way. So apparently these kids fought in the bathroom, and from what the defense said, he was with like 3 or 4 friends, so he was protecting himself to a group of friends. He was in a fight for his life when he was jumped by 5 friends. This is from the defense. He said he was defending himself during a group beatdown by 5 classmates, asserting that the focus should not be solely on the victim and emphasizing the environment in the boys' bathroom where the incident occurred. So to clarify, because from what I read, this fight was planned and he did bring a weapon, to me, obviously, like, I think he should be held accountable. I don't think you should use weapons in a fist fight. But the fact that he was actually jumped, like, as the defense says, he was jumped by multiple people, and you don't have people screaming, oh, self-defense for him, because he should still be held accountable because he's wrong. If somebody were to be, like, being jumped and they were, like, injured, you know, like, or they felt like they were going to be unalived, that is completely different. But, I mean, and the fact that he brought it, you know, prior says otherwise. A big part of why this case was not made a big deal is because I didn't see a single person painting this kid as a hero. And that is the problem. But at the end of the day, I do think he should be held accountable. I don't think that we should be justifying kids bringing weapons to school and taking other kids' lives, ever.
Well, see, now, this is my shit. I'll talk about what the fuck I want to talk about, and what I want to talk about is Caysen Allison. So the trial for Caysen Allison is actually ongoing at this very moment. Caysen Allison, a little white boy, was being bullied by another boy at school. That boy followed Caysen Allison into the bathroom to get him to fight. Caysen Allison says he and other kids said he never wanted to fight that bully. He got pushed into it. Caysen Allison brought a knife to school for protection. He pulled the knife. He stabbed the bully, allegedly, in the lung, and the bully died. Caysen Allison is a little white boy in a very similar situation as Carmelo Anthony. But if you see Caysen Allison as a victim defending himself, that means you would have to apply that to Carmelo Anthony. And you all hate us so fucking much that you will let your own perish. So this bullshit that you're talking about, the black guy that just shot up a school, okay, so if it was a black guy that shot up the school, your people still outnumber school shooters, okay, more than any other fucking race combined, okay? And also, you refuse to come to the table with marginalized communities to discuss true gun reform that keeps our children safe. So again, this shit is back on you. Y'all need to get y'all's fucking house in order. Your children are paying for the sins of their fathers.
This is Caysen Allison. He got into a fight with Joe Ramirez and jabbed him to death. He also had $1 million bond that was reduced to $175,000. This was a case someone mentioned to me that I should talk about. So just like I said about Carmelo, that's also fair. This is America, and the law is the law. And so I'm going to look up details about this case. So far, all I know is that it's a fight that they had. And he unalived Joe. Rip Joe. I'll keep up with this case as well. These kids are too violent these days. What the hell is going on, you guys? We've got to get control of the youth.